What is a desktop CNC machine? Well, it's the perfect tool for unleashing your creativity to support your hobbies, or you can use it to elevate your business, all from the comfort of your desk. So, let's use the Carvera Air to show you some creative and practical real-world projects I did to create custom pieces for my small cafe. Honestly, the project I was most excited about creating when I got the Carvera Air was creating my own custom-made coffee tampers. I never liked the shape of traditional coffee tampers, and it was time to change that. But first, I have to visit the town's local dump. Wood dump, that is. This is a space where residents dump anything wood for disposal. You can find some really nice wood gems here, and we're looking for some old wood that is dense and is going to be perfect for this project. I have my scraps in hand and I'm ready to cut these to the size I need. I found this large beam of wood and I'm going to cut it into a few pieces because I have a feeling I'm going to fail a few times before I get this project right. My tamper design is a shorter but fatter style for better grip with my logo printed on the front. We're going to use the optional 4-axis add-on attachment for this project, which is probably the coolest addition you can buy for the Carvera Air. I'm starting with larger spiral bits to cut down the wood. Then I'll use a finer bit to cut the shape down to a smooth finish. With the tamper carved out, I then went on to the part of this project, which was to put the logo on the front of the tamper. Of course, you can carve into it, but I decided to use the optional laser attachment to burn the logo design onto the front. I know from previous laser work that the formula is never perfect first try. So I practiced on a few failed scraps. And I was surprised at how strong this laser was. A few tweaks later, and the laser strength was perfect. Now to burn the final version. I'm nervous. But here's the final tamper finished. It came out amazing. The great thing about the Carvera Air is that none of these add-on peripherals, from the 4-axis to the laser, are second thoughts. They are fully realized and fully capable of getting the job done. And it's true. I failed a handful of times, but I was able to learn from each failure and make the proper adjustments to correct my own mistakes. I can't wait to keep pushing the machine with new tamper designs in the future. The next project is kind of a small idea I had, but never really knew how I was going to go about creating it. I have a signboard with the drink menu on it, but the drink menu was at the bottom. This forces people to have to kneel down to see the menu, which is not ideal. I want to mount the menu on the top of the sign. So we're going to make a sort of a bracket or mount so that we can put the menu on the top rail of the sign. I'm using this 5mm thick piece of aluminum to cut the bracket out of. I'm honestly giddy about being able to cut into metal with precision and accuracy. And this is where a CNC machine really shines, because this type of detailed work can't be done by hand unless you're, a machinist god. I used every inch of this aluminum piece. I cut it really close to the edge of the limit. Makera is probably shaking its head right now. I'll carve the café logo on the front of the bracket using a metal carving bit. And it's perfect. I'll mount the wood board with the brackets and attach the menu onto the wood board. The sign is already doing its job. It's perfect. No more kneeling down to read the menu. The wood board might be a little too thick and it's not really fitting my bracket, but this is a fix for a later time. For now, I'm completely satisfied with the bracket. My last project was to make custom signs for baked goods. I'll start out with this small waffle sign. We normally handwrite the signs, but my handwriting never got past the kindergarten level. Let's carve a cool custom-made sign instead. I'll use a very dense solid piece of wood. The great thing about the Carvera Air is the laser probe tool. It will show you where the bounds of your project will go, so you know exactly where you're carving and where you want it to be. The Makera CAM software is a free software that Makera makes to support their CNC machines, and it controls everything to create your projects. Tool changes are prompted by the software and are made in seconds by pulling down the lever and pulling out the tool bit, and then just inserting a new one and pulling the lever back up. The amount of detail you can see carved into the wood is amazing. I made a small box so that I don't have to keep making signs and I can just change out the prices. What do you think of the upgraded sign? Some friends said it looks like a robot, and another person said it looked like a Japanese shrine. Well, it's off to the design board for design 2.0. The Makera Carvera Air is truly a powerhouse of a machine, and it fits on top of your desk. I have a laser machine that takes up this whole desk. It just swallows all my space. And to be honest, I was a little intimidated when I first started using this machine. I didn't really think that I was going to be able to figure it out. And even though I have a graphic design background, I don't really have a background in CNC machining. But the people at Makera have done a good job of creating software that is easily approachable even for the beginner of beginners. If you are an expert and you have a background in CNC machining, of course you can use other software including Autodesk Fusion to run this machine. So it really is melting both worlds, beginners and experts as well. I can honestly say that it's been a pleasure using this machine. I look forward to continuing to use it in the future to create other projects for my own personal use as well as my cafe. The Carvera Air really is only limited by your own imagination and creativity. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about CNC machining and how the Carvera Air works. See you next time.